Cuts to water usage are on the horizon as the Colorado River continues to shrink.
Now Southern Nevada's water czar is saying other states need to start taking it seriously. The I-Teen's Vanessa Murphy tells us about the new war over water.
Two separate water cuts are happening. First, on Tuesday, the federal government will announce Tier 2 shortages on the Colorado River, reducing how much water Nevada, California, and Arizona can use. The Bureau of Reclamation, the agency in charge of the river, says on top of that, a second group of additional cuts need to be made, between 15 and 30% of the river's water use. Monday was the deadline set for the 7 states on the river to make a deal, but they couldn't agree. That prompted Southern Nevada Water Authority General Manager John Ensminger sending a letter to the federal government saying the other states aren't taking the problem seriously. He says despite the obvious urgency of the situation, the last 62 days produced exactly nothing in terms of meaningful collective action. He also said most of the cuts need to come from downstream of the Hoover Dam, meaning California, since that's where most of the water gets used. This is a change in tone. The agency hasn't publicly criticized other states for their high water use in the past. Nevada has a right to just under 2% of the water and doesn't even use the full amount. California uses more than a quarter of the water, with the biggest user being the Imperial Irrigation District, an agricultural center in Southern California. Ensminger suggests other states do things like Southern Nevada is already doing, like water recycling and turf removal programs.
For having a reputation as a city of excess, we're actually one of the most water efficient cities in the world.
And that was Vanessa Murphy reporting. Since the states could not reach a deal to cut water before today's deadline, the federal government will now make its move. Southern Nevada has cut its water use by 26% of the last decade, despite adding some 750 additional thousand people.